Well, very clear. Puts a bit of perspective into the situation. Obviously, we want to win in any context. The reality is that we have made that context very difficult to ourselves. It was very difficult already with the amount of players that we had out on the schedule and the games that we had to play. But that's the reality. And for that game, we didn't get away with it. We could have done, and it could have been a very different narrative. The reality is we didn't. And now the context is that we have lost one game in 6 months. And, okay, now we have to win again, win the context that we have lost for the first time in 6 months. So let's show it.
That's 3 red cards in Premier League games. There's been lots of talk around your side's disciplinary record. Do you think your team has a problem with discipline?
Well, I mean, playing with 10 men, obviously there is an issue. The truth is when you analyze the 3 very different actions and the outcome of them, the reasons are very different. Regardless of that, we cannot continue to play with 10 men, especially at this level, and you see how we're struggling. All the teams have to win football matches. When you want to do it against 10 men for 65 minutes, the task becomes almost impossible. So we need to eradicate that. It's clear why, the reason, and how. It doesn't matter. We have to focus that it has to happen.
You have to play without Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka. Are they any closer to being back and available? And if they're not, do your team have to learn how to play without them?
They are closer and they're both progressing really well. Martin is still not fit. With Bukayo, let's see how he feels today and the training session that we have later on.
Paul from Sky.
Mikel, you mentioned that was your first defeat in 17 matches. In terms of the bigger picture, did that form part of your discussions with the players since the Bournemouth game? And also, what have you said to them about eradicating those kind of mistakes that the likes of you and Declan Rice have talked about after that?
Well, I think we are already aligned, you know, that we cannot continue to play with 10 men. That's fine. Easier to get it, to say it than to get it done, because there are very specific moments that have produced that situation. But is reacting, you know, you have a defeat. Okay, it's part of the game, it's part of a sport. It happened in very specific conditions as well. Let's move on. Take that pain that we still have in that tummy, use it for tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's obviously a quick turnaround for another game. Talking about your opponents for this, Shakhtar Donetsk, how much sympathy do you have for them in the way that they're having to prepare for games at the moment, given the circumstances they're in?
Yeah, obviously a lot of sympathy for the situation that they are in, you know, and obviously, how can I imagine, especially speaking to Alex, how affects that situation not only to yourself but for the whole country, your families, the whole environment, and the incredible attitude that they are having towards the situation, and again, the things that they have to put in place to be able to continue to play football matches at this level and compete in the way they do. It's remarkable, and yeah, we'll welcome them here tomorrow in the best possible way.
And away from the Champions League, can I just double check, are you planning to appeal the William Saliba red card? And
that's more, I leave that more to the club to understand the circumstances, and as well other examples that are very clear in the same position, and they will have to decide it.
Ian, talk to what?
Hi, Mikel, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Mentioned there about Shakhtar and the way that they had to prepare, and I mean, it shows, doesn't it, that football is important, but actually it's not the most important thing in the world.
No, clearly not, and especially when you're comparing with the situation that they are in. But as well, I think they have decided, you know, to use football with a lot of positive things that brings to life in a really powerful way, and I think it's remarkable the way they have managed and managing the situation and the unity of the country, and yeah, the capacity of a sport as well to bring joy to people's life, and that's something that we have to be very conscious of.
You can't show any sympathy on the pitch, and after Saturday, I guess tomorrow is absolutely vital for you to go and win another football match and get another unbeaten 17-game, 6-month unbeaten run on track.
Yeah, we have to start tomorrow, obviously. The desire is there. We want to desperately play these kind of matches, and we know, and the atmosphere is going to be terrific tomorrow night. So let's produce that and end the right to win the game.
And last one from me. You mentioned discipline a couple of times, and how you can't play football matches and win football matches with 10 men. Are you going to have to change the way, or are you going to have to ask the team to change the way they play then? Because you have had a lot of red cards wanted them to be more aggressive and to show a tougher side, but maybe they're going a little bit too far with that?
Well, I think for example, what happened in those three cases nothing to do with aggression, in my opinion. But yeah, everybody's got his own opinion. We want to be super competitive when we are, and we show that is great. When you show it and it doesn't go your way and you lose, it's something else. Is part of the judgment.
Simon, Evening Standard.
Mikel, can I just ask you, is you and Timber close to playing tomorrow? And if not tomorrow, do you think he will be back for the Liverpool game?
I think it's going to be close. Obviously, we have to see how he deals with training with the whole group, because he hasn't done that yet. But he will be pretty close, hopefully.
What's the issue with him? Is it something to do with the knee injury before, or is it something different to?
No, it was a muscular injury.
And can I just ask as well, obviously, with fans at the moment, there's a lot of sort of clamour and hype around Ethan getting more minutes, and given what they've seen off the bench and the cameos. How difficult is it for you when you've got a talent like that who's 17 to sort of say, I'll just throw you in from the start, play you, and also to try and hold you back, given he is a teenage boy?
I think it's identifying moment, understanding where he is, where the team is, and what is the optimal moment to throw a player in that context. He's already done a lot in a very short period of time, so let's take it step by step and make sure those steps are consistent and can allow him to grow in the manner and form that we want him in the team.
Claire.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
On Saturday, you changed your midfield setup a bit. You had that thing going with Leo and Kai up top, and you changed it to bring Mikel into midfield. I know it's kind of difficult to analyse because after half an hour, obviously, the game changes. But how did you think that was going before the red card?
Well, it was different, obviously, because Leo has been playing more centrally, but Gavi, obviously, he had a calf issue with the national team, and he came back and he wasn't fit enough to start the match, and especially what happened last year, when a similar circumstance, we lost him for 5 or 6 weeks, and we didn't want to do that, so we have to adapt that. That meant that we have to adapt as well our midfield, and there are options. Very difficult to have a proper assessment, because I expected the first 15-20 minutes of Bournemouth away to be in a certain way that planned to, and we have to let the brownie settle a little bit to see a little bit more things. But yeah, there are different and new connections that obviously with the injuries that we have to try. It's like the first time we played Leo and Kai, I heard a lot of things that we're playing 4-4-2 and this connection, and then it was flowing and it was magnificent. So things need time in terms of unit connections, and probably yesterday or the other day's game is not the best one to analyze and take a lot of things from it.
Just one on Alex as well. It's obviously a big game for him tomorrow.
Yeah.
But he played just 10 minutes since the first weekend of the season. I know he's had an injury which just gets him out for a long time, but how has his role changed now? Because there's obviously so much competition for places in the full-back position, and he was so important when he first came in. And maybe he, at least from the outside, it seems like his influence on the team is diminished slightly. But how big a role does he still have to play for you going forward?
Yeah, hopefully a big one. Obviously, we need him fit. Availability is a big factor to maintain consistency. And obviously, last year we had quite a lot of issues with that. And the start of the season again. Hopefully, he's now fit. We can start to use him. He can start to impact the team in the manner that he can, which is really powerful as well. And that's what we're hoping.
Art.
Hi.
I know you spoke about Jack a little bit last week, but I was just wondering, I think he was joining your coaching staff in the September international break when there was, I guess, less international players around. And I was wondering, in that men's coaching setting, what you might have saw from him. Did you see anything you liked from him?
Well, obviously, that's a collaboration that we had, the same with Mehmet, every time that we are dealing with a lot of academy players, and he was involved. He's been great in everything, in terms of supporting the first team, in terms of bringing ideas, in terms of collaborating with anything that we wanted. I know him. We play together. We have a good relationship, and yeah, let's see.
And in terms of, I guess, coaching first team players and academy players, is the skill set a little bit different? What you might need to give to an 18-year-old compared to a 25, 26, 27-year-old?
Yeah, but every player is different at the end, and every nationality and the education and culture that each of them have is different. But Jack is very experienced because he's played in the game for such a long time. So you have to have that skill as well to connect with your teammates and with your coaches. And they are all different ages, different backgrounds, different nationalities, and I think that's a big strength of him.
Okay, guys, that finishes the live section. We'll now go to 10:30 tonight. We'll kick off with John.
Hello, Mikel.
Hi.
Just go back to discipline, just briefly. Since you've been managers, you've had 18 red cards. Do you recognise that within your team? And you know, is there a need to speak to the players? Is it something you can address with the players? Is it a focus, or you know, as you say, all three this season have, you know, there's been question marks over all three. So I guess, you know, it swings both ways.
Yeah, well, there are very different ones. I think there are very two different periods when we used to have a lot and then not any. And then obviously we have 3 in a row. We have red cards for taking a throw-in. You know, we have red cards for making a really bad tackle, or the last man makes a mistake and it's a penalty. You know, obviously it is a lot. I don't know what is little in 5 years, but it's something that we have to avoid for sure.
Can I just, we're speaking to Mikel afterwards, and I just wondered what he has brought to your team, what you like about him. He seems to have really integrated very quickly within the team ethos and within the dressing room.
Well, a player with an unbelievable football brain, with a lot of leadership skills, that has the right experience. He's going to give us so much, very difficult to judge because he came in, he got injured straight away, and he's only played certain part of games yet. But you're going to see him grow and deliver big things to the team.
He looks a leader.
Yeah, big time.
Sam?
Just on the leadership group, we've seen this season different players wearing the armband, with Martin obviously out, with Bukayo, Gabriel. Has that leadership group evolved or changed since the summer?
It's extending because we are missing so many players that every game we are, okay, who is captain now? So yeah, we are bringing new options every single time. Last time we had to be Big Gavi. I think Big Gavi was captain in a moment of a game or two, if I don't recall badly. But yeah, we have to make that because of the domino effect of so many players that are first in line not being available to play.
And with Bukayo specifically on that, he is showing leadership and being one of the sort of guys at the front. Is that something you've asked him to do in the past 6 months or so as he's grown up, or has he taken that?
No, before that we already had our discussions, and we said certain things that we have to do to give him the right example, to give him tools, to give him direction of what kind of leader he wanted to be. But he's certainly one of our most important players, and that has to reflect on the team, certainly, on his own way. And he needs to be comfortable for that, but I think he's making the right steps.
I think because he comes through the academy, he's such a nice kid, and he's so polite. Everyone looks at him and I think over the last few years, oh, he's a nice boy. But now he's not a boy, he's a man, he's a leader, he's a sort of big thing.
Yeah, but what I like about B, that he's got that, but that when he needs to show his teeth and have that edge, he's got it. And he does it in a really special way, but that is needed. You know, you don't sustain the level and play at the level that he does every week.
Yes, sir?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
On Saturday after the game, you mentioned about Gabriel Martinelli's miss towards the end, which is obviously a big moment. Are you hoping from this, just in general, that Martinelli now comes back and shows and proves to you how good he is, the ability that he basically has?
Yeah, well, Gavi doesn't have to show me how good he is because I know how good he is. But yeah, we want the biggest possible efficiency, especially in the last meters in the right area next to the goal, to finish game off, to have better margins, to win games more comfortably, and it's an area that we have improved, but we have to continue to evolve.
Of course, with Shakhtar, with the circumstances that they're going through with the war, etc., you can imagine they'll be galvanised and very much up for this challenge. What have you seen from them as a team that you think could maybe pose a potential threat maybe tomorrow?
Well, the fact that it's a team that is used to winning, they dominate a lot of the games in there. They have some very talented players. They have a great manager, and they have a really specific way of playing that it makes it really, really tricky. And they have huge experience in Champions League. They play in Champions League every year, and they know what they're talking about, and it will be tough.
Jordan?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You said on the potential appeal against the Leavers card that there are other examples that were similar to it. Is that still the frustration that you can see similarities in decisions, but the actual outcomes is different?
Regardless, my frustration is that we lost the game. That's it. Regardless of the decision, that we cannot change it, and I said it after the match, we're not going to spend any time on that. I leave that for the club.
And after these run of spells when you've had red cards, it can really test a group. When you've been in that dressing room, is it a group that feels like the world's against them, or is it a group that's galvanised and saying, come on, let's go and show them?
It's absolutely galvanized, and they show their teeth, and they fight against the situation, and they get comfortable. They say, okay, this is what we have to play, how we have to do it. We're going to do it, and we are happy with that. But we understand as well that the margins of being successful and earning the results that we want minimizes, and obviously we need to change that.
And you must endure that, because there were times maybe when situations like this have been spiral, but that doesn't seem to happen with this group. They can move on from a decision.
I think the relentlessness and the attitude of the team is remarkable. I told them yesterday I watched the game 2 times more, and after the way we play with 10 men in those conditions, being the third time that you have to go through that emotionally, coming back from international again, and it's incredible.
Okay, Nick.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
I know it's still early days, but I'm just wondering about the format of the Champions League, the big and new one, and how it's going so far. It kind of strikes me that you could lose tomorrow and still have 5 shots at getting the maybe 5 or 6 more points that you'd need to be playing on in February. And it also strikes me that no one here is really talking about the importance of the game, whereas previously you lose one in the group stage and it could be kaput. Is it?
You said kaput it. You said kaput it?
Well, right, out of there.
Yeah, I like that word. I didn't know that one. Thank you. No.
It could be over or something. Does that mean does it feel like there's a bit more edge to you, or I'm sorry, less edge to you now in these games, or is the messaging different?
No, and when we look at the games that we have and how tough they are and the opponents we have to face, and the importance of winning at home, you know, and tomorrow is a day that we really have to show, you know, that determination, that quality, that in the Champions League the margins are so small, and we're going to have to be at our best, and we are fully focused only on that.
So there's no different message to the players?
No.
And finally to Gary.
I know John mentioned the red card, but actually at the start of last season, your record was second best to City last year. When you addressed it in the past, how did you address it in that sense early on in your reign? Was it through videos or through messaging? Yeah. And would you do a similar?
The most effective way, I have to be very honest, not talking about it. Because we tried and we showed and we talked and we repeated the magic. We have to play with 11, and it happened again after a week or after 3 weeks, and they said, guys, let's try something else. And then it disappeared. So I don't know if it's the right way or not, but that's what it happened. That's the reality.
Okay.
I've been lucky enough to win a lot of trophies in my career with the national team as well, and I know the feeling, and it's something that you cannot compare with anything else. Knowing what is this club about and how big is not only Champions League but winning trophies in general, winning the Champions League here will be amazing. Obviously, there is still a long way to go to achieve that, but I think we have the basics, we have the players, we have the mentality, and that has to be the goal, the ultimate goal. So hopefully we can start by tomorrow winning and keep on growing and building up from when the stage is the final, hopefully.
You mentioned that winning mentality you've got. Arsenal haven't won the Premier League in 20 years, never won Champions League. What can you bring because you're used to winning? So what can you bring to a team because you're used to winning that they didn't already have?
Well, I don't know. I think we have a pretty complete team, a pretty complete coaching staff as well. They all have that winning mentality as well. They might not have the experience yet because we also have a really, really young team. And as I said before, I'm luckily had some experiences where I won. So yeah, just the experience, when you have the moment of truth when you are in the final or in the semi-finals, to be able to keep that mentality, to keep that calmness, and try to do whatever you are doing in a daily basis, what has made you get to that stage.
they can't have the same preparation as you because of war in Ukraine, what have you. Just outline for us on a level, player to player, how sympathetic you are to their plight.
Well, a lot. Obviously, sitting right here, I cannot even think about what they must be feeling or what their life is like. But obviously, we are very empathetic, and I wish them all the best, obviously, for their career, for their life. Hopefully, these situations stop as soon as possible. But obviously, we cannot control that from here. We will try to host them in the best manner possible. And yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Miss.
Thank you.
Paul?
Hi, Mikel. Mikel, the defeat against Bournemouth was Arsenal's first loss in 17 matches. So how good is it to have a game so quickly after a weekend like that?
Yeah, it's always good when you lose a game. It's always bad when you win, because this is football nowadays. You don't have time to think about the last game, about the last action. You always have new things coming, new challenges, and it's really good to have a game now. We can try to win, try to give our best versions in front of our fans, and try to not erase, because obviously we have to think about it and try to get better and learn from the mistakes. But yeah, to have a new feeling.
What has Mikel Arteta said to you as a group of players since the Bournemouth game about eradicating some of these mistakes?
Yeah, well, for us it's always about winning, and Mikel knows that. Mikel is always telling us that we have to win in any context. And the thing is, we have the team capable of doing that. We have been playing in a very challenging situation for the last couple weeks, but obviously the coach told us that he's really proud of the effort, of how the team managed to play with one player less for almost the whole game. So yeah, it's about just taking the good things as well, not only the bad things, and with both try to improve for the next.
Alex?
Hi, Mikel. We haven't had too many chances to speak to you since you arrived, so how's it been settling at the club?
It's been great. It's been difficult at the beginning, because nobody wants to get injured in the first session. Obviously, when you come here, you want to make an impact, you want to prove why they signed you, and you want to start building up that confidence and that relationship with your teammates. But yeah, I think after the injury, everybody helped me so much, not only the players but the staff, the fans as well. I felt the love immediately, and that helped me a lot to recover as fast as possible, and at the same time to build a relationship with the whole team. So I feel like right now I'm at a good stage. Obviously not at the best one, but I'll get there.
You mentioned your injury, and Mikel Arteta said you're continuing to grow. So how long do you think it is before we'll see the best of you in an Arsenal shirt?
Well, you never know. Hopefully soon. But yeah, I have still some things to do at the physical level, at the technical level. Obviously at the tactical level, there's a lot of things different from my old club. So it's just a process. I'm doing the best that I can to speed it up, and all the staff and the whole club is helping me a lot. And as I said, hopefully it's going to be soon.
Sam?
Hi, Mikel. Obviously you've played Premier League football before, then had a 6-year break from it. Did it feel different coming back to it this weekend than it did when you were playing for Newcastle? Had it changed in any way, or was it just the same?
It had both feelings. Obviously the atmosphere, the chants, the language, the smell of the grass, everything is the same. But football changes with time, players change with time, and I think I have changed from the player I was 6-7 years ago, and the tactics is just a completely different league now than what it was 7 years ago. So it's just a mix between same old atmosphere, passion for football, just loving the environment, and yeah, but the evolution of football as of tactics and how you play in the pitch, that's the main difference.
I think because we're English and we're here, we always think, oh, the Premier League's the best, it's the fastest, the most competitive, the most intense. But you've got experience of other leagues too. Does that stack up? Is that true? Do you think, or how do you compare the intensity?
Well, I don't want to talk bad about other leagues or about this league, but every league has its differences. Premier League is obviously one of the best in the world, if not the best. The quality of the players, the pace, the rhythm, the atmosphere, everything is just out of this world. And honestly, I'm really glad to be here, to be playing against the best teams, against the best players. That's what we want as a competitor, to play the best, to be the best. And hopefully this year I can enjoy a lot and learn and grow, and for the future be an even better player.
Simon?
Mikel, the sort of stats we saw before you came here had you sort of top in Europe for sort of tackles won, headers, duels. Is that something that 6-7 years ago you were always doing, or is it something over your career you targeted and said that this is what I'm going to make my best attributes and something you worked at to get to where you are now?
As I said before, I think players change with age, with experiences. Obviously, I'm not the same player now that what I was when I was 18 or 19. I've been evolving my game, and I think when I was 18 or 19, I didn't have this physical level. When you mature, when you grow, when you start working and training, you get better in the physical aspect and at the tactical as well. So I think I've always had the mentality of trying to win every duel, but now I feel more prepared physically to do so. So yeah, as I have said in a couple interviews before, I'm not promising I'm gonna win every duel, that's for sure, but I can promise I will try to fight for every duel like it's the last one. So that has been my mentality forever, and that's the mentality I will still have in the future.
And who are the midfielders you've admired as you've developed that you've liked the way they've played?
I've admired a lot of midfielders because luckily in Spain we have had like a couple of them. In England as well, the Lampards or the Gerrards, the Cesc Fabregas, Vieiras, all these kind of all-around midfielder that can play box to box, that can score, that can defend, that can win duels, that can dictate the tempo of the game. Those are the midfielders that I look up to. But in Spain, yeah, of course, the Xavi, Iniestas, that mentality of keeping the ball, try to play short passes, try to dominate the game through the ball and pass a lot. That was the kind of players that I admired when I was a kid.
Just last, you mentioned Lampard there. Is that something you feel you have in your game? You have goals, obviously we know about attacking headers, but you think going forward you have that element to add to this team?
I hope so. For sure, that's one of the reasons I'm here, because I think I can be a threat in the opposite box, and that's something I need to work to get better at, because I know I can develop myself even more. I have a high ceiling, so of course goals are not the main thing for a midfielder, but if you can provide them, it's going to be a whole different thing for you as a player. So hopefully in the future I can get better than that, and I can score a lot of goals for Arsenal.
We'll move to this side of the room with John.
Hello, Mikel. Mikel Arteta said of you that you were a leader and had a real football brain. He was, incredibly complimentary about that aspect of your personality and your character. I wonder whether did you get that from someone? Was it as a coach been particularly influential that's made you think? And I just wonder whether long term you even see yourself going into coaching.
Well, the first part, I've been lucky that my father was a footballer back in the day. And when I was growing up and I had 14, 15 years old, he became a coach, and he was coaching the the academy teams in my boyhood club, and I would sit at home with him watching their games, and he would explain me things that happened in the game, more of a tactical aspect in the global team, whereas a player you only maybe think about you as an individual. And I think there was the first time I started looking at football as a whole, as a team, as 11 players against 11 players, and the whole tactics behind just the ball. And yes, I've been lucky to be coached by a lot of amazing coaches, and I've learned a little bit about every one of them. But Imanol Alguacil, the coach I had in Real Sociedad, was the one who woke me up, or woke up the aspect of the tactics and the kind of mathematics of the game. And in the future, I don't know, I love the tactics, I love the football, I love being around football, but I see how coaches age, and I don't know if I want that for me. So let's see in the future. Don't try to retire me yet.
I guess we saw a lot of you, and in the Euros, you obviously had a special time. How much of a big point in your career was that, and sort of as a learning experience? I mean, blimey, you broke our hearts, but but it was clearly a really special summer for your generation.
Absolutely, it's been probably the best summer of my life because of a lot of things that have happened. But winning the Euros, for sure, it has changed my life to the best. In the football aspect as well, signing for Arsenal, winning the Euros is amazing. It has been a dream come true. I grew up watching the Xavis and Iniestas that I told you guys just a minute ago, winning World Cups and Euros, and you thought about them as legends, and now you are the one winning a Euro, so it's just kind of crazy to me, but it's just amazing, amazing feeling.
Nick?
Hi, Mikel. I don't know whether you saw, but last week, FIFA, the Players Union, led a legal complaint against FIFA about the global matchday calendar, and basically the number of games you guys are playing. They took legal action about it, and I thought, given that we're about to play a Champions League game in this big expanded new competition where there are at least 2 more games for you guys, maybe 4, I wonder whether you thought that's the only option now, to take drastic action to ensure that you guys are protected and not playing too many games.
Wow. long question.
Long question.
Sorry.
Yeah, about the games, it has been a difficult topic, a tricky topic for the past few months, if you would say. It's a difficult one because obviously we are players. I love to play football. I don't even care how much I have to rest or not rest, because whenever it's a ball in my feet, I feel happy. But at the same time, we are reaching a level where players are getting injured, and the level of the game is not at the highest point because of resting. So I think it's in the best for everyone to, get to a point where we can keep playing, keep giving like spectacle, is it called? Because if players are not rested, there are going to be injuries. Everybody wants to see the big names perform and do all these amazing tricks and be high quality football. So yeah, hopefully we can get to an agreement and get to a point where everybody is happy and we can keep going and enjoying football.
Do you feel on your body that the demands have got higher and higher and higher as the years go on? Do you think the demands have got higher in terms of how you feel it?
Yeah, I've been playing European football for 6-7 years now in a row, so your body starts to feel it. Maybe when you have been playing for 1-2 years, your body don't even care about how many times you have to rest. But when you're getting older, you start to feel it. But right now I feel great. I come from an injury, so I don't feel tired at all. I just want to keep playing, keep improving my physical aspects, and just get to that level again where I feel 100%.
Isan?
Hi, Mikel. You come across quite mature. Where does that come from? Is there any particular experience or think from your background growing up, that's influenced that?
Yes, as I said before, the fact that my father was a footballer back in the day helped me a lot because he could give me a lot of clues or tips about how football life works. And at the same time, I went out away from home really, really young. I went to Germany, then to England, back to Spain. Now I move again. And those are experiences where you learn, when you are forced to learn because you are 18 years old, you don't have your mother anymore to cook for you, so you have to wake up and start doing things by yourself, learn new languages, try to perfect your English, your German, and that's what I think makes you wake up and try to mature.
Your fellow Spaniard David Raya has had an unbelievable start to the season in goal. What have you made of his performances, and could you envisage that spike in performances?
Yeah, David is an amazing goalkeeper, an amazing guy. He has had an amazing season last year. He has started in an amazing form this year. That talks a lot about how strong he is mentally and, of course, how hard he works physically. He's always pushing himself. I am lucky enough to play with him in the national team as well. You can see him performing really good there. He's always working hard even when he's not playing. So, yeah, that's just a good example for everyone for what we should do. Just keep working, keep trying to push ourselves even if we are in a good position. So, yeah, hopefully we can all learn. I think everybody has the same mentality as him, and we can start getting better performances.
Last couple, we'll start with Jordan.
Hi, Mikel. In the past, Arsenal have been criticised for not being physical enough or maybe being a bit weak. But now Mikel Arteta has built this team of giants. I mean, and you're one of them. Just how much does it make a difference when you're in that tunnel and you're lining up with your teammates and you're all 6 foot plus and you look down at the opposition? Is it something that a team needs?
Yeah, sometimes it's crazy, I'm gonna tell you, because I am in the corridors or in the training ground just walking, and back in my old club I used to be one of the tallest, so everybody was smaller than me, and now I look around and everybody's taller than me, so it's just, we look like a basketball team now. But yeah, I mean, football now is just changed, and now you need a strong team. Physicality is key. We need to be the most complete team possible. You need the physical aspect, the technical aspect, the tactical one. You need to be a total team if you want to achieve big things, as we do. So yeah, it's not only about being tall and big. It's always, as I said before, the mentality. If you are big but you don't go with the 100% of your intention to win the ball, it's just nothing. So the main thing is the mentality, and I think that we have that.
With that size, you can then win set pieces and you can score from set pieces, and you must have seen that in training already. Just how good is this Arsenal team in terms of even in training, scoring from set pieces, and just how much work goes into it that you've seen already?
Into set pieces or in general?
Just set pieces and corners.
Yeah, it's something that, as I said before, football is evolving, and set pieces is something that is evolving too. Everybody is paying a lot of attention to set pieces because it's a big part of the game, and you can win or lose a lot of games because of that. And here we try to train it a lot. We have the good staff members, we have the good players to do that, the physical advantage. Is something that if you try to get 100% out of it, you can win a lot of games.
Last two, one with Art and then Kaya.
Hi, Mikel. I was just wanting to ask about your time with Martin Odegaard at Real Sociedad and what you remember of the young man that you were with. Could you envisage him becoming captain of a team like Arsenal, and also how you guys kind of play together in the field?
It has been a long journey for him and for me. That finishes now playing together again. We played, I don't even know, maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago. And I saw him as this really talented kid that was just magic on the number 10 position. He made my job really easy because he's the one who moves really good on the pockets, and he turns, he plays quick, Me as a number 8 back in the day, I used to find him a lot, and he used to make my passes better. So yeah, it's amazing how he has evolved, how he has developed. Now he's a grown man. He's now the captain, the leader of this club, and you can see the maturity in his voice, in his acts, how he talks to people, how he behaves on the pitch. It's great to be back with him again, and hopefully we can keep building up that relationship, that connection that we had.
And lastly with Kaya.
Mikel, obviously you had to wait a while and be patient to make your Arsenal debut. It feels like maybe that's a bit of a theme in your career, in the sense that you went to Germany and stayed early on, you had to maybe wait to get your chances at Newcastle, and then Sociedad, it took a little while, and then in the summer it took ages for this move to be completed. Do you think that's made you more hungry, and do you think that's helped you throughout your career, having that patience, and then right now to make you more hungry to achieve with Arsenal?
I don't think it has made me more hungry, because I've always have that hunger to achieve goals, to win or not to lose. Call it whatever. I'm a really bad loser. I don't like losing at anything. So the hunger has always been there, and now I am surrounded by people that has the same hunger, that want to win at all costs, that want to not only win but do it in the best way possible. And that's something that motivates me. That's something that gives me the belief that we can do it. We can win big things. There's a long way to go still, but I think we have the capacities, and we have the players, the mentality, and I'm really happy to be around people that feel the same way as I do.